And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatChannel.com. You know the drill. www.galacticfriedchicken.com. Get the app. Get you everything Galactic right to your front door. Pretty much anywhere inside the 275 loop. Or head down to Dayton, Kentucky, Wednesday through Sunday. Lunch and dinner. Tell them to pump it up. Save yourself 15%. Hi, Aaron.
Yo.
How we doing?
Doing all right. Bye week.
Yeah.
No Bengals.
We watched the Chiefs, as we're prone to do in this household.
As soon as that telecast came on, Bluey. I turned on Bluey for the baby.
Bearcats in the NFL. Travis had a phenomenal day. 12 catches, 180 yards, a touchdown.
Till they stop giving Taylor Swift more airtime than actual players on the field.
They don't do that.
I'm good.
Just, she has her own new handshake with Brittany Mahomes.
Couldn't care less.
Brian Cook got an interception to end the game.
I saw that on the Twitter.
Right there. That guy.
Yep. That's great.
That guy. Yeah. It was good. It's good. It's a shame you don't like the Chiefs.
God, I can't wait till they break up.
Boy, when they get married, you are going to be devastated.
I already have her name muted on Twitter, so.
You and Stuart Gilchrist. Just you and Stu. Oh, boy. Let's get to it. It was a somewhat interesting week in the Big 12. Nothing too surprising when it comes to who won, but some of the games were
questionable.
Of note.
Questionable,
maybe. Yeah, let's get going. Oklahoma 31, number 6 Oklahoma 31, UCF 29. What did I pretty much nail this one?
Almost, because you said that UCF was going to pull it out.
No, I said I don't know. When we talked, I said, look, I'm taking the points regardless. I don't know if they're going to win, but this is the type of game that Gus Malzahn has somehow won in his career.
Maybe that's what you said. I don't know.
I just knew it would be way closer than people expected, because this is kind of what Gus does. He just usually ends up finding a way to, pull him, finds a way to have a field goal go just short enough to be caught in the end zone and taken 109 yards for a touchdown to beat Alabama. Those are the type of stupid things that happens for Gus Malzahn in games like this. But, they didn't get it done this time.
Yeah, Oklahoma missed. They missed a couple field goals. I mean, the whole game was strange. UCF, of course, had the Tyreek Hill style celebration on one of their touchdowns as they blew a kiss to the sideline of Oklahoma. Yeah. Oklahoma didn't really take kindly to that.
No, as one is prone to do.
You can't do that shit and not win the game, right?
Right. Don't blow kisses at the opponent's sideline when they can still beat you.
Yeah.
Not great, Bob. Not great. Yeah. But does kind of raise your eyebrows that, UCF is potentially getting better as the season goes on. Wasn't enough to beat Oklahoma. We'll see next week, how they look coming off of an emotional game that they couldn't get done. That will be interesting. But hat tip to the Citronauts for getting an almost win. Right up there, Texas jumps up 14-0 on Houston, and then Houston storms back, makes this a game, but Texas holds on the road 31-24.
Houston
If you're a
got
Bearcat
jobbed.
fan, yeah, they did. But if you're a Bearcat fan, the concern here is Houston's quarterback, 378 for 3 touchdowns.
Houston got jobbed. And I don't like to ever give Dana Holgerson any type of flowers. But Houston got jobbed. They had a first down, and they were not given the first down. They were not given the review on the first down. And Texas benefited from a terrible call. And I said I wasn't going to do this. I already did it once this season, but I feel okay doing it again today, as it happened in the NFL today. It happened against Houston in this Houston, Texas game. But what are we doing with all of these old people just eyeballing first downs when we have the technology? We have the technology.
They will tell you they don't, but they do.
It's horseshit. Just
get
the call right.
Right? They know we watch tennis.
Or soccer, or plenty of sports are doing that these days. Like, what are we doing? The balls, and they've already admitted that the balls are chipped anyway.
At least in the NFL. I don't know the college balls are chipped.
I can't imagine that it's any different. I'm sure they're all, because what do we know about everything is being analyzed because we're all in a simulation. Ask everybody. Whole thing's stupid. Also, this is why you want people to stop saying that the games are rigged. Use the technology to get the calls right.
Yeah, I don't get how it wasn't reviewed. Like what?
No,
we're at the end of the game.
Correct.
It is a critical play. If they get the first down, the whole scenario is different. Maybe they don't score the touchdown, but the whole scenario is vastly different. I just don't know. I don't know how that's not reviewed. I don't know how
because Vegas would have lost their ass if Houston wins that game. Vegas would have lost their ass.
Vegas. Calm down. Vegas is not fixing games at the highest levels of college football.
Yeah, we never saw that in the NBA either.
Yeah, and that guy went to prison. He got caught.
Yep. The bag man got caught. Somebody had to go down to make sure the whole thing didn't go under.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Sometimes I don't know why I do this with you.
You're welcome.
Oklahoma State. They're next on the Bearcat schedule. They just hung up 48 in Morgantown.
All of a sudden, they're 5-2. Who saw that coming? I didn't.
They look dangerous. Like if you're Oklahoma, you're looking at Bedlam in 2 weeks. I wouldn't feel great about that.
Ollie Gordon, 29 carries, 282 yards, an average of 9.7. Bear in mind, I saw somewhere there was a tweet that his first carry went for 1 yard. So the rest of the 28 accounted for 281 of his 282 and 4 touchdowns. No big deal. Just another day at the office.
That's danger. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. They are cooking, and unfortunately for Neil Brown, the wheels are wobbling, Aaron. The wheels are wobbling.
They got UCF next week. They'll be fine.
Yeah, but if they lose that UCF game, they're sitting at 4-4. And the rest of their schedule, is not that bad. BYU at Oklahoma, host Cincinnati at Baylor. They could turn it. They could get back on the right ship, but if they lose at UCF, then you're looking at them going, better get things right real quick, Neil Brown.
I think the Mountaineers will be just fine. Now the Gus Malzahn extension and the Scott Satterfield contract, people are going to be arguing about that for years. Which one of those is the worst deal? People will be arguing about that for years, or at least for weeks, until the season's over and Satterfield gets a restart next year.
BYU 27, Texas Tech 14. Thought Texas Tech might be getting back on track, but again, you go to altitude.
No,
you
sir.
play that BYU team, and it didn't look like, again, statistically, BYU did not have the leader in the game in passing, rushing, or receiving. Sounds familiar.
Weird. Yeah, Texas Tech was favored in this one by 3. They get stomped out by BYU 27-14. Taj Brooks, I believe, leads the Big 12 in rushing yards somehow still for Texas Tech with 31 carries, 105 yards, and a touchdown.
That's because they're giving it to him 31 times a game.
You'll have that. But all for nothing, really. Not a great day for Texas Tech. I talked about that last week, though, that you were high on Texas Tech in this game, and I didn't like their chances at altitude. I told you, give me.
Yeah, I just like the momentum that they had kind of started to feel like they were getting back on their side after a slow start. And BYU got spanked last week, so it was one team kind of going like this and one team kind of going like this, yeah. but
plate tectonics won.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, doubting BYU at altitude is never wise. I just don't think they're very good, but
they figured it out.
Yeah. Whatever. And
Pretty
then,
much.
Boy, rough day for the Horned Frogs. Kansas State 41, TCU 3. That was 21-3 at the end of the first quarter, and that score might not be indicative of the game flow of that game, because Kansas State just dominated fast. And I've got a few Kansas State folk on my timeline, and they were mocking TCU early and often in that one.
This is the battle for who's the better purple team. Will Howard, again, gets done, 154 yards and 3 touchdowns. Avery Johnson, the freshman quarterback, he had 90 in the air on 5 of 10 and a touchdown, and then 16 carries for 73 yards. They had a lot of rushing yards, 343 yards on 52 carries on the day. 4 guys over 60 yards.
Yeah.
Including 2 quarterbacks, not one, but 2 quarterbacks over 60 yards.
When their offense is clicking, like they're pretty fun. And the past 2 weeks, it has been clicking. So they're still a team that I think can do some damage down the stretch here. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe they have both. No, they don't have Oklahoma.
TCU has both Texas and Oklahoma still.
TCU's trash.
But they also have favorable schedule in Texas Tech and Baylor.
Yeah. But they're not good. Kansas State they host Houston next week, then go to Texas, host Baylor, at Kansas, and then host Iowa State. That Houston game on November 4th is going to be interesting. Methinks. So there you go. That about wraps it up for this week. Anything else you want to get to?
I just wanted to say, looking at the standings, you still have Oklahoma at 4-0, Iowa State, Oklahoma State, Texas, and Kansas State at 3-1, all tied up there. 2-2 for Kansas, BYU, West Virginia, Baylor, and then TCU and Texas Tech at 2-3 each. Houston at 1-3, and UCF and Cincinnati at the bottom at 0-4.
The 2 teams that dominated the American, just like everybody told us would happen when they went into a power conference. Huh. I do have an update on Travis Perry up on the basketball board. I got an article from Berg today, little season primer from the Berg that we're going to put up here in the next 24 hours or so, and then plenty to get to throughout the week, including the BBP kicking off tomorrow night at 8. So that's going to wrap it up. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. That is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!